Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, good people? It's your homie, HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody. They go tell somebody your homie, HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all of the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So we're coming live from South Africa. You guys live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Go get somewhere, get situated, because we are live on the HerbMan show. And this is where we teach people how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we're going to be teaching you about the human frame and the human design. I'm going to try to stay in the frame. Okay. But we're going to be teaching you guys about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness and the wholeness that you so surely deserve. Okay, you deserve this information. This information is old information, but it's new, and it's time for us to get practical with it. It ain't just that it's information. It's practicality time. It's time to put this stuff into work. We see right now what is failing us when we're looking at our reductionist systems, when we're looking at our isolated systems of science and healthcare. We must understand it is failing us at a lot of areas, and there are people looking for alternative ways to be able to put the pieces of the puzzle back together again. And we're just showing you guys how simple health can be if you have the right information and if you have the personal responsibility, the commitment that it will take, because commitment is key, to involve yourself in your own healing. Look, again, like I told you guys yesterday, healing is not a passive thing. It is a participatory thing. You must participate in your own healing. And if you can do that, then this can be done. Okay, so we continue to keep teaching you guys about all kinds of stuff. Okay, again, we're always going to teach you about the human frame and the human design here. This is free information station. You guys don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. I'll work for mine, you work for yours. Let's interact and let's teach each other about what our ancestors, all right, our ancestors are people who came from where? If you are the descendants, then they are the ancestors. Okay, so you should be in your descendants because you are the descendant of something, and you don't know how to be a descendant. A descending of something is a reflection of what your ancestors were, right? You are a descendant of your ancestors. You are a reflection of your ancestors, and your ancestors knew about light and water. Okay, now the oldest thing that we got on the map between this right here was something called this. Okay, some people call it the Moors or the Moors. Okay, the Moors don't mean nothing to me other than the original people who called themselves the people of the water who could bear light. They were water people who could bear light. Okay, and so that's what we're going to talk about, this ancient understanding of light and water, because it's now going back. You're rediscovering the power of the light in your body. If you go right now and really start doing research, you'll see how biophotons is the talk of the town. Biophotons has always been the talk. Have you ever heard a lot of people talk about melanin? And your melanin is your power. Why? Because the melanin traps the light. It reflects the light. It absorbs the light. The melanin is the product behind what you were hearing here, but they say melanin, and you don't get to hear the ancestral knowledge of this stuff. You hear the science, but you don't hear the spirit. Okay? So then all you see is how could it affect my body instead of how does it affect my being? All right? So now these are the mules, were the people of the water who could bear light. So in essence, you are the same structure of the original human. Then you are people who come out of the waters of the womb, and you are able to bear light. If you got white skin, you can still bear light. If you couldn't, you wouldn't be here. So this is a lit planet. This planet is deriving off of the sun. Why? Because the sun is the center of these planets, which you call the solar system. So therefore, all of the planets are orbiting around the sun. The sun don't orbit around nobody. The planets is orbiting around the sun. So now that means that the sun is the center of existence for this solar system. That means that light is going to be important. Well, now they change your light bulbs from incandescent to fluorescent and LED. Now you're missing these things coming out of the sunlight because you're wearing clothes and you're not exposing yourself to light exposure because of sedentary lifestyles and modern career choices. So you're always in the house. You ain't out the house like you used to be because you thought being out the house means slavery, but you don't understand that being out of the house means being at one with nature. Stop letting these folks trick you out of your stuff. So then you looking at a job inside, not understanding the job the suns do on you when you outside. And so my point to you is that we're losing our light exposure, and that means we're losing light absorption, which means we're losing a significant part of how we remain healthy. Water people, we're 75, 80% water, but we can bear light. The significance of this is the relationship between the two. So then you will go down here and you'll say, okay, so this must be Adam and this must be Eve. Okay. Then you'll go down and you'll say, okay, so this must be masculine and this must be feminine. Then you'll go down and then you'll be like, oh, okay, so this must be electric and then this must be magnetic. Okay, and then you can just keep going down to understand why this relationship has to happen. Now they're gonna write stories about this relationship and they're gonna put people on it, they'll put places on it, they can put things on it. It's called personification, it's called parabolism, it's called talking in metaphors. But these ain't metaphors, these are actual biological things that are happening inside of each and every one of our bodies. Okay, and so we're teaching you guys this system when we teach you about the owner's manual. That's why the owner's manual was so important. How humans absorb, store, and reflect these two forces is everything, because these are your two forces of life. Light and water are not just metaphors. Okay, they are actual biological systems that determines a lot of different things, you guys. You know, this light and water, let me show you something. This light and water, man, this thing determines a whole lot of stuff, okay? Now, when the murals had this, then the Olmecs and the Toltecs and the Aztecs and the Mayans, they picked it up and they just called it temperature and fluid, okay? And so you remember I taught you guys about this years ago, temperature and fluid, same thing as light and water. Right? The temperature and fluid was a relationship that the Olmecs came in from the murals, okay? So this thing of ancestrally knowing about this relationship is impactful to each and every one of us when we're trying to go back to nature. When you're trying to go back to nature, you must go back to what worked in nature, and this ancestral system, it worked in nature, okay? So these things, again, they're biological systems that determine what? Health or disease. They're going to determine your emotions or your numbness. You know, they can determine your clarity and your confusion, your longevity or your decay. Okay, your evolution or your stagnation is all dependent upon this relationship between the light and the water in your body and in your life. Okay, so the owner's manual and this whole system is integrating these two forces in a way that modern science and ancient mysticism now are starting to agree on. Okay, but we already ahead of the time. So when you guys are coming on to the show, just know that you are looking and witnessing history. Okay, remember I told you this is not a moment, this is a movement. And when somebody like myself and others can come and start to illustrate to us how powerful this system is and can be another option for us in our health, that's what we need. A system, not a product. Remember, there is no panacea product, but there is a panacea system, a panacea program. And that's what we're unveiling to you guys day by day. Light is not just photons, okay? Light is not just photons. Light is information. Remember, food is information. Well, food is an umbrella word. It's not just about what you eat and what you drink. It's about how you think and you feel. What is your diet as far as your thought life? What is your diet as far as your feelings? What does your diet look like when it comes to how much you doing this and doing that? So what is the diet like in your lifestyle, not necessarily on your plate? Okay, so every photon carries instructions. Okay, so light is information. Every photon carries instructions. Okay, so we seeing what light is. Okay, so like when you say I'm shedding light on a thing, that means you're making something more clear, more plain, more visible, more understandable, right? You got clear instructions that come into you. So when every cell carries these instructions, what are the instructions? The instruction is going to be how your cells behave. So if you got an herbalist or a doctor messing with you and don't know nothing about this stuff, they could be doing you more harm than good. Okay, these instructions are going to tell the organs how they should synchronize. These instructions are going to tell your hormones how they should cycle. They're going to tell your DNA how it should express itself. All right, it's going to tell the mind how it should perceive. It'll tell your consciousness how it should awaken. That's what light does. The human body absorbs this light in 4 ways. How many of you guys know one way that you absorb light? Anybody know a way that you absorb light? You absorb light in 4 different ways. Can anybody give me one way? Okay, there are 4 different ways that we absorb light. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. Please go let them know your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. You put it, you keep tapping, I'll keep talking. Put it in the chat. Who we got? Queen of the Heart said the skin. You are correct. Okay. One of the 4 ways that you absorb light is through the skin. Okay. Anybody else know anything else? Okay. Through the skin. This is how you, this is what we call the biophoton capturing, right? You capture it through the skin. That's where melanin comes in. That's where your chromophores come in. All right. That's where even the oxidase in the mitochondria comes in at. Right? Because the light is going to enter into your mitochondria, and then it's going to get converted over to ATP and biophotonic signals. This is actually happening in you. And when you get this done, then this is going to control what? It's going to control your circadian rhythm. It's going to control your mood by helping you produce the dopamine or the serotonin you need to address that situation. It's going to help out with immune activation, and it's also going to help out with what we want the most, cellular repair. This is you repairing yourself. It's happening all day anyway. It's just about you knowing where you're getting it from. Okay, what is another one? All right, another one. Purple Bird say, okay, the eyes. Okay, the eyes. That is correct. All right. This is the second way that you download light. So through the eyes, this becomes your neural light pathway. Okay. So your retina in your eyes is not just for sight alone. It is actually a light-based regulatory system that runs the entire brain. Your retina. Oh, I just thought it was for looking. Yeah, it's a light-based regulatory system as well. That means it's regulating light. Okay, that's what we're trying to get you to understand. So this light enters into your eyes, and then it sends instructions to who? Your hypothalamus, the pineal gland, the pituitary, your limbic system, the amygdala, your prefrontal cortex. All of this stuff gets the absorption of the light from the eyes. Okay, so you must understand that. So then, in essence, light literally turns into consciousness. This means that light literally turns into consciousness. Anybody else? Somebody else put it up there, but they didn't show it. But I'm gonna come back to it because it was great. Somebody said the Queens of Hearts 1111 said the crystals within us. Now I don't know if she know what she's saying right now, but that's number 3. Okay, number 3 is through your fascia. Okay, number 3 is through your fascia. This is your photon highway. Okay, so we can put over here your neural light. Okay, and then we're going to put here, this is going to be your photon highway. Okay, so we'll do it like that, right? Now, the crystal part of it is why I'm fascinated by the answer that she gave, because this actually is going to be a crystal lean network. Okay, so I like to call the fascia a liquid crystalline network. Okay, a liquid crystalline network. Okay, it transmits biophotons at the speed of light, which is faster than your nerves. The fascia, okay, that's in you. And so this is kind of like your inner fiber optic grid, all right? So that's what you want to look at it like that. That's your inner fiber optic grid. And then last but not least, which one? Anybody know the last one? It's 4 of them. We got one more. So we know that we absorb through the skin. This is our biophoton capture. Okay, that's the biophoton capture. It's through the skin. The eyes do the neural light pathway. And then the fascia is the photon highway. Anybody else got one last dig at it? Let me make sure that my YouTubers are getting a fair shot at the answer as well. You guys, if you are on here, you want to take a fast shot at it, you can. Anybody else? What's that last one? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking, all right? So the last one, just in case you guys ain't going to get it, is the breath. Okay? Is the breath, right? And so this is kind of like your ionized light particles, okay? Your ionized light particles. Now, I explained to you what that is. Okay, through ionized light particles, you receive light through the breath. All right. So air carries negative ions. That's why we tell you to walk around the beach, walk through the forest. Why? Because air carries negative ions. Okay. Also, the ozone. All right. Air carries the ozone. Also, air carries structured water vapor. So therefore, you can start getting structured water. And we know that we're going to talk about it, but we know what structured water and light means to each other. Okay. And then also air carries charged particles. Okay. And so breathing is how we absorb this electrical light information into the blood. Let me repeat that one more time. Breathing is how we absorb these electrical light information into the bloodstream. Okay? Because remember that oxygen is getting through your pulmonary to get into that blood. That blood ain't good until it gets to that pulmonary artery. Your blood is not ready to go through the arteries until it gets oxygen. Okay. Now, when it comes from the veins, it'll go through the liver so it can get cleansed and get all the microbes and everything out. So now it's clean blood, but it ain't ready blood until it get to the pulmonary artery. When oxygen get in clean blood, then it's ready to be dispersed, which is why you call it a artery. A stands for away from the heart. That means that it's going to shoot blood all to your organs while that whole cycle or circulation is going on. Okay, so circulation means circular, spiral. That means that we must understand right there that the body is not even working from a linear design or mechanical design. So why treat us in a linear fashion like all of us are the same because of some damn ranges and numbers? That's crazy. Okay, and you want to know why you're not helping nobody. COVID-19 showed you how the system is failing us. Okay, not keeping up with our health the way that we need to be as a healthcare system in the first place. Why everybody got so many preconditions and got so many conditions already that haven't been solved. So therefore, when something comes like this, everybody who already had a little poop and a little cough gonna get. Come on, man! You're supposed to be able to eradicate these chronic diseases, and that's why this owner's manual is the best part about it. Okay, so that's your light right there, y'all. Any questions on the light? Do I got any questions on the light before we get started? Because they gave us bad things that don't help our diagnosis. Yeah, I really hope that helps. Yes. Any questions on the light before we go to the water? Yeah. Well, we don't have to wait on that system to get corrected. I'm not waiting on the healthcare system to get corrected. I'm just bringing in the corrected system for the people, for the human beings. I don't wait. Nobody has ever changed the system in the system. Is you change it outside the system. So the people are gonna have to change, and then the system will come reluctantly behind. But you can't be dependent on no system. That's why you got people like myself and others who are establishing. You ever heard of a pastor or a preacher called the apostle? These people go and establish churches, right? So we got to come in and establish these new systems. Okay. You can't come in and ask somebody to take no money out their mouth to feed you. Yeah, you're gonna ask a doctor not to be a doctor so that you can have health? No, they're gonna still have their careers, they're gonna still have their things, and people are gonna still go to them to be real with you. But there's a time and need for the healthcare system in the way we know it. But if you're looking at everyday things, you can do things without costing you a freaking dime to increase your health status, and that's what we're teaching you today. The water is the biological storage system for light. Okay, so we know what light is. But the water is the biological storage system for light. So water is going to equal memory. Water is going to equal emotion. Water is going to equal your fluid intelligence. Water is going to equal conductivity. Water is going to equal the feminine principle. Water can equal the subconscious and all that, or the conscious, or however you want to say it, right? So water got all these different significant things, but the biggest thing is that it is a biological storage system for when I receive this light. And since I'm a human designed like this, the more I understand what this brother's teaching, the more I understand thyself. If the original people called themselves the people of the water who could bear light, those things were already being understood. Now is how you balance this in this experience. Okay, so we taught you guys about the 7 waters. Okay, we taught you guys about the 7 waters and how important they are to this light conductivity. We told you about the blood, the lymph, the intracellular, the extracellular, the interstitial, the synovial, the cerebral spinal fluid. All of that stuff has been addressed to you for you to understand why this system is the best, because each water has its own emotional signature. They got their own mineral requirement. They got their own healing pathway. Water also determines the speed of the cellular communication. So if you got structured water, okay, if you got structured water, right, the water got to be structured. If you got structured water, you got fast communication between your cells, that's health. If you got unstructured water and you got slow communication in your body, that's stagnation. That's AKA dis-ease. Yes, we came from water and light. We are the people from the water who can bear the light, the mules, not Moors, the mules. Because if you don't change the word, then it gets the significance. If you trying to just go through history talking about this shit here, all you talking about is some shit that don't benefit nobody. Where you come from, where you travel from, who were the first people ain't saved a nigga life yet. So I'm talking about health and understanding integration way more than isolation. The religions are isolating you. So now if you ain't a child of God, if you ain't the Israelites, if you ain't chosen, come on, man, that's division. So you trying to tell me that you don't give a fuck about your oldest son more than your youngest son? Or you would want your oldest son to tear your youngest son ass? No, they're both my children. So you automatically know that shit ain't of God. Okay, God is integrative, not isolated, not reductionist. And you got to learn how to balance this thing. So I don't go down this road because this is a road of divisiveness. I'm talking about what can bring us together, not what can divide us. We good at that already. All right, the body is a light body suspended in a water body. Now let me repeat that. So in essence, if this is true, that means that the body is a light body suspended in a water body. Light gives the instruction. Water is going to be the medium in which this instruction is transported. Light gonna come in with the instruction. Your waters is the medium in which the instruction gets passed around. Okay? When light moves freely through water, your emotions flow, your creativity increases, your intuition rises, your immune system strengthens, your hormones get into balance, your brain enters coherence, the fascia starts to glow. It literally has a glow to it. The heart becomes rhythmic, and the DNA starts to express itself youthfully again. Ain't that everlasting? If I can keep this up, then how long can I live? If I can keep up longevity, that's what's going to get you to everlasting. We know we can attempt the longevity. We know that longevity can be done. We may not have never seen everlasting life, but we've seen longevity. Now all you got to do is say, well, that is the first step, is to reach longevity. And if I can keep on reaching longevity and keep on renewing oneself, remember that you only can be renewed by the transferring of the mind, which is where the light comes in at, right? So now once the instructions continue to keep coming through without being stagnated, blocked, without being sluggish and all this type of stuff, then guess what? That cell repair is happening, and now I can be looking like I'm 40 when I'm actually 240. Okay? Because but here's the thing: when your water get blocked and you got an obstruction, you guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. Now, when your water get blocked, and a lot of you guys got blocked water, got blocked blood, blocked lymph, blocked cerebral spinal fluid. You got blocked synovial fluid. You got blocked reproductive fluid, seminal fluid. You got blocked this and blocked that. You got stagnated this and sluggish this, because we're not understanding this message. And you get this in your owner's manual. If you guys are interested in the owner's manual, please DM me and somebody will get you the information that you need. Water cannot hold or transmit light. Okay? Water cannot hold or transmit light. Get what I'm saying? Water can't hold it or transmit light. If it does, the result is inflammation. If it's holding your light, the result is depression. If it's holding your light, the result is trauma loops, autoimmunity, fatigue. If the water is holding your light, that's chronic disease, that's aging, that's emotional numbness, that's that spiritual disconnection you feel, because it's not allowing the light to flow freely. Everything becomes stagnated and static instead of being dynamic. And that's why I was teaching you guys where you get this up and down thing and short spurts. That's a lot of craziness going on in short wavelengths like that. So we want a more relaxed, a more calm movement so that we can adjust properly, we can prepare properly for the movements and be able to understand how to flow with life. And I think that this is where the owner's manual comes in and really starts to leave a lot of the other stuff behind, because we're taking in this whole human history to create a health system behind. You're taking in modern science, you're taking in ancient science, you're taking in modern technology, you're taking in ancient technology, and you're saying, okay, now when we're at the point that we are today, what can evolve us even more? And that's taking into consideration the old and the new. Okay? And so that's why we call this healing you through spirit and science, because we put it all together, which is the way you should look at the thing in a oneness, a wholeness. All right? So we absorb light from the sun, we know that, but we also absorb light from food. Okay, so in your owner's manual, we tell you about how to get out there and get that sunlight. We need infrared, which is what we're not getting enough of. We got rid of the incandescent light. We're not staying outside long enough, et cetera, et cetera. But infrared is the healing part of the light. The infrared end of it is the healing part of the light. Okay, the infrared is the healing part of the light. Okay, the visible light, the things that you can see, the Roy G. Biv, right? Your red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, violet, green, all that. Your Roy G. Biv, that's what you can see. That's information, all right? The visible light is the info. The infrared is the healing. So you see, you need a mixture of this particular light spectrum. You can't not know about infrared and ultraviolet because they come in with different things, okay? The UV, the ultraviolet part of the light, that's sterilizing, but that's also nitric oxide release, even if you don't have none. So we know nitric oxide release is going to do what? Lower blood pressure. Okay, so the food comes in with the light, and it's got this biophotonic density as well because food is absorbent. So you got light-rich foods that we talked to you about, like the fruits and the herbs and the vegetables and the sprouts and the seaweeds and even the herbs that you get in your owner's manual. I ain't gonna give them to you if they're not light-rich foods because this is our system. Okay, so we're not giving you shit outside of the system. So ain't no need y'all asking that for that. Okay, I don't do nothing outside this system. Okay, because the thing is that giving you dead foods hold little to no light. It ain't gonna do nothing for you. Okay. Also, you get this from your emotions. Yes, emotions are light. Okay. Joy is the highest biophotonic emission, which is why I'm trying to get you in this blissful state, because that's where the healing comes in at. Okay, this blissful state is where the healing comes in at. Some of y'all call it catching the Holy Ghost. Some of you may call it euphoria. Some of you may call it what they call that? Not euphoria, but they call it ecstasy, right? You can say ecstasy. All of this is what we're talking about. Catching the Holy Ghost, being in ecstasy, having an orgasm. All of this stuff is this thing that I'm talking about. If you can understand what I'm trying to get you to see. And you can feel that even in your time of need. And if you feel that, answers come through that feeling. Okay? So joy is the highest biophotonic emission. That means reflection. Gratitude, put your waters in order. Love brings your water to some coherence. Laughter allows that gamma burst that we were talking about, okay? Singing allows the rhythmic and the harmonics to come in. The homeostasis starts to come in. The body starts to get at ease and not in disease. So yes, you can literally sing, laugh, love, gratitude, and joy your pains and ills away, along with nature. Okay. And so the very thing next is the breath, right? And you can get that from anywhere, right? Because the breath is holding that electrical charge. So now if I'm got this joyous gratitude about life and I'm out in the mountain air, I'm out in the ocean air, I'm out in the rain, I'm out in the forest, guess what? I'm producing more light. Okay. These environments recharge your water. Again, with these negative ions. These negative ions are your light packets. So you need this. And I ain't said yet that you got to buy nothing. I ain't said nothing about buying nothing yet, you right? And then your touch, you got to have that touch. That human connection is also going to be one of the biggest things. Oxytocin increases biophoton emission in the fascia when you got this touch going on. The body literally begins to glow. You ever seen somebody tell you, girl, you got that glow? Why? Because touch, human connection, being in love, being in bliss with somebody, being happy in relationships can cause for you to have that glow. But that glow is an auric field around you from the external means. But what it's actually saying is, girl, I can see you going on glowing on the internal side because it's exuding. Remember that outside environment eventually will influence internal environment. You got to know that for the good reasons and you got to know that for bad reasons. So when people are having a good time outside in their life, they tend to start having good times on the inside. Okay. So those are the ways that you are taking in air. Taking in light. Those are the ways that you are absorbing light. Now, how do humans absorb water? Obviously, it's a little bit more easy to understand. Drinking water. Okay. But in your drinking water, you guys must understand the quality of water. There's a lot of information going on about water y'all don't understand. Your water must be structured. Okay? Your water must be structured. All right? It must be mineralized. It must be sunlit charged. It must be free of inorganic salts. And it must be free of heavy metals. Now, if you're buying water in the plastic you already missed this. If you're buying water in the plastic, you already missed this, okay? And I understand you got to get what you got to get right now, but put it into practicality, because this is the misnomer about water, okay? Then now you also get water from food, right? So this is the highest vibration water. The water you get from food is your highest vibratory water that you can drink. So that means that the water you get from the fruits, the herbs, and the vegetables is the highest vibratory water that you can get. They call it H3O2. Okay. But then also you absorb water through the skin. Okay. So light coming through the skin, water's coming through the skin. Okay. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. So the skin absorbs humidity. It absorbs ocean minerals, herbal baths, steam, things that you're doing with steam, clay baths, all that kind of stuff. Yes, we know that the skin will absorb water. And then obviously we know that the water comes in the breath. So every inhale contains micro droplets of structured water. Every single time you inhale, you're inhaling structured water. That's why you create carbonic acid. That little water that's in that air is the reason why that carbon dioxide gets converted over to carbonic acid, which is why breathing is a very good way to start to help get out some of the acidity. So you only really have two organs really controlling acidity or alkalinity, or alkalosis is what they call it, acidosis and alkalosis. And that's your lungs and that's your kidneys. So you're either going to get metabolic acidosis or metabolic alkalosis, or you're going to get respiratory acidosis or respiratory alkalosis. But the lungs and the kidneys are the ones handling the I'm going to say the first responders of this acidosis or acidic environment. That's why breath has always been taught. Okay? Because of this structured water. You've been thinking it just because it's been because of the structured water, man. Okay. So you must understand that water metabolically created in cells. Okay. Water is metabolically created in cells. Okay. Your mitochondria makes water. Okay. It's called the fourth phase water. You guys can go look that up. That's that H3O2. The fourth phase water is called H3O2. Your mitochondria makes fourth phase water. This is the water that carries the light the fastest. H3O2 is the water that carries the light fastest. Your mitochondria makes fourth phase water. Go look it up, do your own research, and then come back and holler at your homie HerbMan. I'm giving it to you how TI is. Nobody can do this thing, man. We are teaching you biological and cosmological different than anybody on the planet right now. I don't give a damn what you stopping on to listen to. This is one of the best shows on the planet. Okay, so how do we reflect the light and the water? We know about the absorption, but how does this look when it comes to the reflection now? Okay, we understand light and water through absorption. If you don't, ask your questions. Can you restructure the bottled water? So that means, so basically what you're trying to tell me is, can you bring the dead to life? We teaching you that, but we only know that through longevity with you. You see what I'm saying? So my point to you is that you're asking me, can you resurrect water? Right? And I'm saying to you, think about that. Can you resurrect water? You see what I'm saying? If it's dead, how you gonna revive it? And I know that people been telling y'all put a lime, put a lemon, and this, that, and the third in it. And because that lemon or lime, it has the structured water, then yes, but it's mostly the lemon and the lime. It's never the distilled water. Distilled water means that it's dead water. Purified water means that it's dead water. I'm just gonna tell y'all that. Distilled water means it's dead water. Does that mean that you don't need to drink distilled water? If you want to cleanse, but it's not going to be food. Bottled water, if you want to cleanse yourself, because your body ain't even made of distilled water, it's not made of that thin of water. If I was to prick you right now, distilled water ain't gonna come out. That shit gonna be thick. It's gonna be IV-ish. It's gonna be ocean water-ish. It's gonna have a little thickness to it, it ain't gonna be like no regular, it ain't gonna be like that distilled water you drinking. So then that means that you're not replenishing what you're using. And you think you are. Anybody ever bought them bottled waters that can go through the whole 6-pack? How many folks can drink a whole 6-pack of distilled water? When you get thirsty on something, I can crack open all the whole 6-pack. I'll drink the whole 12-pack when I'm thirsty. You know why? Because it ain't got no food in it. So that means that it's not hydrating you, it's actually dehydrating you. But I can tell you that there's a cleansing agent that comes with stuff that don't have nothing in it. Okay, so it's useful for sometimes, but you can't replace it because it's not food. You need the food in the water. You need to have structured water. Okay. All right. So when you reflect light, you guys, you can reflect light through creativity. Okay. You reflect light through creativity. So you see the world today. You see how less creative we're being. These folks is coming up with new songs with old beats. Okay. New words with old beats. New movies with old movies with new characters. Yeah. So creativity is slowing down. Then y'all don't want to have no babies like your grandmama and them used to. So you even all the way down to the finite, creativity is starting to come to a halt because the light, the information that's being given to the people is being dumbed down, it's being blocked, it's being stagnated, it's being obstructed on purpose and through your ignorance. So I can't do nothing about the purpose, but I can do something about your ignorance. And that's why the owner's manual is very impactful for each and every one of us looking to really be healed. Okay. So also you reflect light through what? Clarity. If you start coming in things and start seeing life come a little bit more clearer, you starting to break through. Okay. Purpose, right? You reflect your light through your purpose. You reflect your light through your intuition. See, this is what they don't want you to have. This is what they don't want you to have. You reflect your light through your skin glow, through your eye brightness, through your peaceful presence, through your love, your compassion, through your charisma. See, when Jesus was on the earth, if you believe that story, every time before he did a miracle, it said that he had compassion and was compelled. So that means that light, he was shedding light on their situation. And people can feel your auric field when your light is high. They can feel you coming. They can understand who you are. I know when I be walking places, folk be looking like, well, he must be somebody. I ain't goddamn nobody, but I look like it because I got the light shining on the darkness. So this is how you reflect light. Okay? This is how you reflect light, right? And then there's another edge to this where you got to understand how you reflecting your water in your life. Okay. And when you reflect water, obviously we know that this is going to come through your emotions. Right. We know that that's the number one way that I'm showing my water is through my emotions, but also through my empathy, through my sensuality. Okay. Through my empathy, through my sensuality. And we know sensuality has been knocked out the door now because of the masculine women and men that are losing sensuality, because sensuality brings understanding, it brings connection, it brings emotional intelligence into the picture. Okay, so adaptability is another way you can reflect your water. Your tears, your sweat, okay, your breathing rhythm, your breath rhythm, right? Remember that. Your tone of voice. Your tone of voice. I need to put this down. Your tone of voice. I tell my wife all the time, we got to watch our energy. Even though it's subtle, it's important because the tone of voice can start to set the vibe because it sends the vibration. So I teach you about humming and moaning, the stuff you get in your owner's manual, so that you can start to control this without people controlling you with this. And without you controlling the situations with this ignorantly, because it's your tone, it's your vibe over your situation, how you speak over your life and speak over others and speak about a situation. It's that tone that's setting the vibe. And I told you that your waters hold memory. That's why they told you to talk into the water. Well, if you're talking into the water and you're a water being, then when you're talking, your thoughts, guess what? Your thoughts are not excluded. Your thoughts are only excluded to me because they're your thoughts. I don't know what you're thinking until you act them out or until I see some type of expressive behavior. But the waters can hear your thoughts. Remember, I told you that the only thing that can hear your thoughts is your cells. Only way we know is if you expressive behavior, some type of expressive behavior, some type of body language, or some kind of way you have to let me know what's going on with you. But in your waters, the waters know the thoughts and the waters know the actions. And both will put a vibration into your waters, and you ain't said nothing to nobody. And that's why motherfuckers can worry themselves to death, but daddy ain't never told you what was going on. That's why somebody and mama can worry herself to literal death, and she never told you what's going on. And how can a person, why? Because the thought still shook the water. Okay? And so when your water is healthy, your emotions flow like a river. But when your water gets stagnated, your emotions run like a swamp. Okay, so you just let me know which one of them you think good for you. All right, you let me know which one of these you think good for you, you guys. Okay, so this owner's manual thing is not a joke, and we're not playing with you guys. That's why we do what we do. We live this, and we're trying to get you to see that it works. It's absolutely what you've been looking for. Like Shadua Sanders said, I'm gonna let y'all know I'm what you've been looking for, because the humans are light bodies in water bodies, like I said before. So you got to know that light gives the instructions. All right, somebody need to know that light gives your body instructions. Water going to carry out those instructions. The minerals are going to structure your water. Okay, the herbs are going to purify the water. The rhythmic practices that you're getting in your owner's manual, they're going to help move the water. The nature-based interventions that we're teaching you guys in your owner's manual, they're going to help recharge your light. The emotional practices that we're giving you in your owner's manual, they're going to help release the obstructions, because they're going to help us discharge. Okay? And then the breathing and the harmonizing with the breath, come on, man, it's going to harmonize the whole system. You get all of this for a funky, measly $50. Now go somewhere else and see how much they charge you for a master plan for your life. And we don't need a blood test. We don't need a blood type. We're not going to prick you, prod you, or poke you. This is non-invasive, non-intrusive. We don't need, we hold the sanctity over the body to not poke you, prick you, and prod you. We don't need to look into your blood to see what's going on with you. The ancestors didn't have no microscope. And I think that's what's happening. We spend so much time looking at the human life microscopically that we don't back out of it to see it from an eagle's eye perspective. And so when I look at the world, I see the microscope from on high. And I think that when you get down into the weeds of things, you lose your way in the maze. So now you all the way down here in my blood. You don't need to be in my blood. Ask me about my life. And then you will know the waters that are going on in there. You can just talk to me and I'll know what the waters is. If you say I got high blood pressure, I know it's the blood. If you tell me you got cancer, I know it's interstitial fluid. If you tell me you got a parasite of this, that, and the third, I know it could be your gut fluids, your digestive fluids. If you tell me you got this and that, I know what the water's at. And then I take the waters and then I can connect them to these particular emotions. Oh, you dealing with doubt and trust issues. Oh, you dealing with loneliness and delusion. Oh, you dealing with attachment and addictions. Oh, you dealing with stress and anxiety. Oh, you dealing with guilt and unforgiveness. Oh, you dealing with grief and depression. So therefore, I get to know you more, and all I did was ask you for a god dang on birthday. And I know all of this stuff about you from a birthday. We don't need to be invasive. The body is sanctified. We didn't start opening up bodies, you guys. That's not a good thing to do, because you don't belong to me and I don't belong to you. And I don't even know myself well enough for me to go down into your body saying I know your body more than better than you. The doctor don't know how to get rid of their fucking cold, but they trying to say they can get rid of your cancer. The doctor can't get rid of his alcohol addiction, but he wants you to stop taking prescription drugs. The doctor can't get rid of his smoking habit, but he think that, no, he don't. That's why he put you on lifetime prescriptions. What we give is lifestyle, because you shouldn't have to be on nothing all your life. Okay? And so when you understand what we're doing, then you'll see that this owner's manual is the whole human formula. And we match up, we know how to decode this from the 4 elements. Again, this is ancestral shit, but we know how to decode this from the 4 elements, because everything goes back to that. So these emotions all go back to the 4 elements. The life path number go back to the 4 elements. The yin and yang go back to the 4 elements. The Kemetic, Ayurvedic sciences go back to the 4 elements. The Tibetan medicine, the Native Indian medicine wheel, all of that go back to the 4 elements. The 4 humors go back to the 4 elements. The 4 temperaments go back to the 4 elements. Your carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen are all still symbolic of the 4 elements. And so when you start to understand that, then you'll see that the 4 elements is how you decode life. Is how you decode life. And so when somebody says that we're made of the 4 elements, then this is the question, and this is my real true teaching. I'm gonna expose this today. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. I'm gonna expose this today, my real true thing. Why is he teaching us this? First of all, you do need to learn how to heal thyself, because you can see the way that this is going. You don't have no dependency the way that you should or you could or would have had in years before. So if something happens, you need to know what to do within you. And also, what I'm presenting to you is a daily flow of things, not something to take in your time of need, not something to not do every day, but just do it when you need it, but something that you can just start to integrate into your little busy life every day to keep the doctors away. Okay, because obviously the 2 apples ain't doing it. Okay, them 2 apples a day ain't doing it. So this information possibly can. Okay, the whole human formula is this, because again, if you say that I'm made up of fire, if you tell me I'm made up of water, if you tell me I'm made up of air, and if you tell me I'm made up of earth, and then you say to me that these are going to represent carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen, right? And that's the 4 formulas of the body. But this is a decoding system. So now the sun has never died, but I got this in me. But the sun is everlasting. The sun is an everlasting substance that you say I got a part of. The water is everlasting. The water ain't never died. And you're telling me that I'm 75 to 80% of the water. The earth has never died. The air has never died. So the air is everlasting. Never seen the air quit on nobody. And the earth has never stopped spinning or yielding its fruit for the incubation of the human experience. So therefore, I've never seen earth die. And this is everlasting. So I got 4 elements of me that make me who I am. Look at the scripture of the Bible. It says that he formed the dust of the earth. So he created me, or she created me, from an everlasting product here in nature. Then he breathed out into the lungs. So he formed me from something everlasting, breathed something in me that'll never die. But you are living every day headed toward death because you don't know thyself. Because you don't know thyself. And until we know this information, the hospital got you. The hospital got you. Any questions? Anybody got anything they want to spill out or say? Or if you got issues, you want to come up on the live, put me in the chat. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast, okay? So that's what we're trying to get you to understand, So when we come in here, we teach you about the herbs that we have, the panacea herbal science. It all comes from here. When we're teaching you about the 7 waters of the body, the zodiac lifestyle, the life path number, the neurochemical healing. When we're teaching y'all about these NBIs, nature-based interventions, when we're telling you about this emotional alchemy and brainwave stuff that we teach you about, alpha, theta, gamma, epsilon. When we're teaching you guys about this ancestral cosmology, these daily rhythmic rituals that we keep trying to show you guys about, it is because we know for a fact. We know for a fact. Okay? We know for a fact that if you learn these things, you can extend your life. We know for a fact that if you learn these things, you can extend your life. You can have longevity. All right. And that's the first thing that we're trying to do. So when you understand the owner's manual, understand that this is a system that is teaching, okay, how a human being can become whole from a biological, emotionally, mentally, and spiritual way. by synchronizing those things so that we don't keep ourselves separated, isolated, or reduction, or fractured, or fragmented in this journey while we're here. Okay, so that's why this is very important, because these are everlasting elements that a person got inside of them that is actually living temporary. What's happening? Why is that? What's happening with that? If you're undergoing cell repair all the time, and you got new blood after 4 months, and new bones after 10 years, and a new body after a certain time, then that means that something is happening. You're undergoing the transformative process until you can't no more. And that's when you get sick. You undergoing this cell repair, this rejuvenation. That's how you go from a baby to an adolescent, because you have rejuvenated and evolved. But then you done hit a block where you're no longer evolving, and you're no longer rejuvenating or recovering from the life you're living. And that's when you get into a dis-ease or imbalance or disorderly state. Okay, so you got to understand those 4 elements, because that sun is information, is coherence, and is purpose, and you need it. Going outside is necessary if you're talking about healing yourself. Okay, the water is necessary, the fluids, the emotions, the regulations of those things are necessary. That air is necessary for your rhythm, for your nervous system, for your perception. That earth is necessary. You see, you need minerals. You need structure. You need embodiment. That's what this system is giving. Okay? That's what we're given. They should say, it said master builder. Who a master builder? I'm a master student. That's all I am. What about earth, structure, the bones, and the body? Yes, Deshaun, yes. It said master builder. The master builders are going to, when you talking about life path, if you're talking about life path numbers and stuff like that, then the master builder, I think, is the what? Anybody know who's the master builder? Hold on right quick. They want me to take a commercial break over here real quick with this TikTok. So y'all give me a second. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to put the receipt up here for y'all that are interested in that information. I know a lot of people be interested in that, so we'll see what we got here. All right. The master builder is not the number 4. The master builder is the number 22, which is going to end up being the 4. Okay. But the master builder is model number 22. Now, we say model number because we go off the owner's manual. So owner's manual got manufacturing dates and model numbers, not life path numbers. But we still do it like the life path number. It's just that we use this vernacular. Okay. So if you are a 22, then you are the master builder. If you are number 4, then you are the builder. Differences. Okay. But at the end of the day, this is how you can kind of find out yourself there. If y'all didn't know that, all right? And if y'all need more information, you just let us know. But that's what that is. Okay? So that's, but again, I don't even give a damn about your damn life path number. All I get from that is how to decode that. So that 2 means 4. That 4 to me, I come down here. You see this? If y'all can see this, you might can't see it clear, but the root chakra is 1. The sacral chakra is 2. The solar plexus is 3 and 8. The heart chakra is 4 and 6. Okay. Then your thyroid is 5. Then your third eye is 7. And then your crown chakra is 9. Okay. So therefore, the numbers only go through 0 to 9. All right. Which is 10 digits. 10 digits means what? If you break this down, oneness. Okay. A oneness. These numbers represent a oneness. So nothing goes above 9. So that 22 is going to be broken down into 4. But what they let me know, air element. All that air is just let me know the air element. For me, it's a decoding thing. Okay? So it don't matter what your number is on now. I'm bringing it back to the 4 elements. It don't matter what your situation, what your nothing. We decode life through the 4 elements. That's why you should have an herbalist. That's why you should have holistic people learn a system that can get them a better understanding of nature, so that when you are prescribing or when you are suggesting or recommending herbs to people, keep it close to the system. Stop trying to go on what Laila Africa said. Laila Africa was a great person, but he died still early. And death to me is failure to this information. It's failure to learn this information. If I just told you that those things are everlasting, a nigga can't teach me shit that died. That's just me though. Because I'm like, if you knew, you should be able to circumvent the maze and show us what longevity from information that you are participating in looks like. Otherwise, I'm gonna leave it to the West Side. Okay, Dr. Saber, love him. He my inspiration. But hey, look him, man. You know what I'm saying? Your ass goddamn left here early too, pimp, in the 80s. Just cause you 80 years old, I want to see that shit make a motherfucker last long. Not about how black, a king, a queen, a god, how much richer over white folk, over the Indians. I don't give it. What information can help us be in heaven long? Me, I want to be here in heaven long. This is heaven to me. I don't want to fade back to black. I don't want to go back to where I didn't know shit. I don't want to go back to where I wasn't in living color. I like women. I like the food here. I like this experience. So why I want to go back to nothing? I'm trying to figure out why we want to die. That's what I'm asking. Like, if you must hate everything God created here. There's nothing that want to keep you here. No, because you're looking at life through the lens of other people. So you look at life and say, why would I want to stay here for when they're going to work us to death? You keep putting they in your life. Every time I see y'all talking on here, y'all going to tell me something about what they doing. They messing with the food. Well, then you the one that ain't got to eat it, because you can grow your own food. You know that. They messing with the thing. They messing with the water. But you know that you can go on findsprings.org and put in your zip code, and there will be a spring near you. And you ain't never got to go mess with them 4 bottled water. So why is they messing with you? They ain't messing with you. You want to mess with them, and they ain't letting you. That's what's messing with you. They ain't messing with you. But y'all 99% want so bad to be that 1%. And that's the goddamn problem. Because nobody is finding peace, sovereignty, serenity. Everybody's coming in here feeling like they lacking something. And that's offensive to a God. I know I would be offensive if all my children came in this motherfucker disgruntled, showing no thankfulness, no gratitude, don't know me, ain't saying nothing to me, don't give a damn about me. If I was a God, I would be mad at each and every one of you 99%ers that think you lacking so much that you want to be a 1%er. Because that lets us know what God you're going toward. And that's mammon. Mammon is money. But that money has no purpose. And that money ain't even real transactionary the way you think. Your energy is the transaction. Your energy is the currency. Your energy is the thing that makes you money. Your money don't make energy. It is your energy that you are transacting. The true transaction is your energy for money. Okay? Money ain't giving you the energy. Money giving you the other stuff. But energy is what the businesses are giving you. I'm going to pay you a wage for the energy. So if you come sit in this seat for 40 hours, I think that wage for that energy is $25 an hour. If you give me your energy for 40 to 50, 60 hours, I think that may be the equivalent of $13 an hour for your energy. So your energy is giving you money. So then it's your energy. That's the currency. Because without you providing energy, a butt in my seat, a hand in my restaurant, an extra hand to help me this, if you didn't give me your energy, you can't make no money. So the real transactionary thing, the real currency in each and every one of us is what we want to give over for the money. And what you give over for money is simply your energy. Okay? So the true currency is your energy, not your money. So anything you give over energy, attention to, is going to reap some benefits for you, and it's going to reap some other stuff for you, but it's going to have some consequences in there too. Okay, menopause that cause brain fog. What can I do for it? Same thing. Okay, so when you got menopause and brain fog, you got to listen to what you're saying. So the brain fog normally is going to come out of the where? Cerebral spinal fluid. Okay, the cerebral spinal fluid is where some of this brain fog can start to come from. Now the menopausal thing, we already know now that's hormonal. Okay, so where is that going to come from? That's the endocrine system. Okay, so that's chemicals in the blood. All right, so then we know that that's going to be what? That's going to be a little bit of extracellular. Okay, that's that extracellular, but the environment outside is eventually going to deal with the environment internal. Okay, so then that's your ICO. All this is, it don't matter to me. What I know this to be is the 4 elements, and we know what herbs to give you. We know what everything. It's a system, not products. Okay, system, not products. Break it down for me, then, Doc. Yes, sir, DJ God. Yes, it's a system, not a product. Okay, so we know that when you tell us that particular thing, we know what herbs to give you for your hormonal imbalances and all that type of stuff. Now, the thing about it is the menopause thing happens a lot of times because you could be dealing with thyroid issues. Who this is, D. Lampkin. Okay, so when you're dealing with menopause, I'm gonna first ask about the thyroid. Okay, then if there's no thyroid problem, that's fine. I don't want you to have no thyroid problems, but we got to figure out what happened to get them off kilt. Now, a lot of you guys thinking, oh, just because I got into menopause age. No, there's a lot of you guys dealing with thyroid issues before you get to that thing. And menopause symptoms can act and mimic thyroid problems. Okay, so I gotta ask you that question. Have you been dealing with weight loss up and down? Have you been dealing with this, down, the third? If you've been dealing with rapid weight loss, then that's that's hyper. Okay, that's a hyperthyroid. Rapid weight loss. If you've been dealing with rapid weight gain, then that's hypo. All this simply means is a fast metabolism, which is not a good thing. Can't have too fast a metabolism. This is not good. And then the hypo means slow metabolism, which is not good. You can't have it too slow. It's got to be a balance. Metabolism is the way that you convert, the way that you're changing things. So when the light is coming into the water, remember, it could be too fast or too slow. It's going to cause problems. It needs to be a balance. Okay? I am menopausal and have hypothyroid. You see what I'm saying now? That's why we asked that question. But do you think your little young herbalist on the block and your herbalist on these things are going to do that? Unless they watching me and just heard that, there's no way they understand it. Like I say, vitamin D, I say sleep. The next man going to tell you go out and get some light. You never are not getting light. Your eyeballs absorb light, your skin absorbs light, and unless you covered up and got sunglasses on, come on, man. So we do get light in some form of fashion. It's just about the health of that light, yes, but we do get it. So most vitamin D situations ain't got nothing to do with light. It got something to do with sleep. But understand this, the connection between light and sleep. The more sunlight you get, the better you sleep. And then you won't have vitamin D problems. So it's a combination, but everybody's stuck on sun. And here's the thing, what you gonna give somebody for sun? There's no foods for vitamin D like that. So you encourage a balanced lifestyle. You encourage the importance of sleep. And then you get to understand that, okay, how can I get more sleep? By being outside more. But it has nothing to do with sunlight. It's got something to do with you understanding the importance of that sleep. Okay? All right, D Lampkin. So again, if you guys need any of the stuff, you guys can go to the website. We got detoxes on the website. 21-day lymphatic cleanse is our detox. We got the vitality blend for your blood pressure. We got the sugar blend for your blood sugar. We got cancer blends, but they customized, but we still give them to you. We also have a Black Friday sale going on the cancer blends. Okay, but everything else is there. The owner's manual was there as well. Or you can DM us and just talk to us, and we'll get you headed toward the right direction. But again, I'm not gonna revere off the system. So the doctor told me I had hypnochronolytic cricosis. Who cares? I'm telling you what Mama said. Now you can take the two and go somebody else, or you can incorporate and integrate it. I don't mind. Again, this is healing you through spirit and science. But we have the same stuff that they do. We can come up with the same understanding, okay? Instead of using machine light, we use natural light to get your understanding. Instead of putting you through a CAT scan, or MRI scan, or ultrasound, they're using them same lights because they know it's healing in the light spectrum. I'm just going to send your ass outside. I'm going to teach you about the importance of the light spectrum and just send you outside. You don't need to try to be on nobody's bed and put no machine light on me. I need natural light, natural infrared, natural UV, natural light spectrum. Because y'all see it's healing you. When you go to the doctor, what they do, they put a laser on you. That's an infrared. But that's also heat. Okay? Microwave, ultrasound, all this, X-ray, all this, what's that? That's a wavelength. That's heat. So they're using light and heat. Why can't we use it in the natural instead of in the unnatural? Instead of in the organic? Instead of in the inorganic. I'm sorry. Yes. You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking. It's 6:17. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. It is 6:17. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. So we are the people of the water who absorbs light. The people of the water who bears light. You must control your temperature and your fluids. Okay? And what we provide you in the owner's manual is giving you everything according to ancestral understanding of these two things and how these are the balancing acts for the whole human being. And they mean way more than just biological stuff. They also mean esoteric, spiritual. They also mean emotional. All this stuff gives us the information to know you better than any doctor would ever do, unless they stop asking you about prescriptions and start asking you about yourself. If they start doing that, you cool. Life Path 22, yeah, that's a master builder. But again, that ain't nothing but an air element. So D Lampkin, I know that you're a spiritual person, okay? We know that you're very open-minded. We know that you're very spiritual, okay? But you want to get outdoors more, D Lampkin. You need to be outdoors more. An air element person, a 4, a 22, or whatever, a 6. Y'all need to be outdoors and making sure that you're outside and getting that air, getting that water, getting in that mountain air. Being exposed to that is going to keep you wet. Your nervous system good, okay? And another thing I can tell you about a 22 or a 4, D Lampkin, is that you must watch out for your ability to be grieving or depressed, okay? You have a bad time with getting over depression, that can start dealing with a lot of your emotional state. That can also start dealing with your immune system. That can also start dealing with a lot of other stuff if you don't watch out. So 4s, 22s, and 6s, grief and depression. Watch out for it. How do I know what my number is? Add up your birthday, DJ Gods. Add up your birthday and come to a number, right? You're going to get a number out of that. Date, the month, and the year. Okay, John Wall, the 11 is the illuminary. Okay, the 11 is the illuminary. All right, but again, that's a 2. All right, so you are the illuminary. So obviously, you're going to shed light on situations. You're probably a very helpful person, a person who comes in and uses their professionalism and expertise to help people with difficult situations. You're very good at illuminating, meaning very good at shedding light. I would just say simply very good at helping people, especially if they're in tough times. That's what that is. But that don't mean nothing to me. What means to me is that 2 means water. So then that means that you're a very emotional person. So you got to watch your emotions. Watch how you express yourself. It is very necessary for you to have touch, for you to have crying sessions, even if it's tears of joy. Watch your waters, watch your fluids. You're emotional, right? But that's good because you're a good friend. You're a good confidant. You can, you put your literal self in people's shoes. And you one of them people that if you got it, you'll give it, especially if you feel their story. So being empathetic, being sympathetic, being a very good confidant to your friends and stuff is a very good thing, but it can overwhelm you. And then next thing you know, you start having excess water issues, excess lymphatic issues, and all them 7 waters could really start to get tumultuous if you don't watch out your emotional state. That's for 11 and for 2. Okay, but it is the illuminator. So no thyroid problems, good. Weight maintain, good. Will mess you for honest man and herbs, okay, good. So then, yeah, it's just a menopausal thing. I don't like the brain fog though. So if you could, then let me know about your digestive system. I don't know if you're dealing with constipation and stuff like that. Because if you got a clogged brain, a clogged gut, you can have a fogged brain. Okay, a clogged gut equals a fogged brain. So either way, get your owner's manual, give me your birthday, and let mama do it. So we ain't even got to figure out, because again, like I said, if you don't know everything and you trying to tell me I don't know you, hell wrong with y'all. That's why you're getting wrong shit, because you telling folks the wrong thing. The problem ain't where the sow at. The problem is how you got the sow. Again, if my son go out here right now with his little bike, because he damn sure don't know how to ride it, and if he go out there right now push him down the hill, knowing he can't drive yet, and this, that, and the third, and he scratch his knee. What's the problem? Is the problem the knee? Yes, that's the acute problem. That's where you see on the surface. But the problem ain't, he'll always get a scratched knee if you don't solve the problem of teaching them how to ride the bike. But you come in here in the hospital, you come to your herb, HerbMan, you got herb for the scratch on my knee. And I'm like, well, how you get the scratch? I fell, but why are you falling? See, you don't want me to go down that road. Why the hell you grown as hell around here falling? I was just, why you too busy where you can't watch your, I want to know, why you so busy you can't watch your step? Why the hell you around here falling for, woman? You want me to solve this? That's easy to solve, but it can be chronic if we don't solve the chronic condition. You want me to solve the acute, the things you see. I want to solve the chronic, the thing we don't. And that's the difference in your owners, man. My girlfriend is itchy and can't figure out how. Is it through what she eats? No, it's through how she feels. Okay? If loving the grape. Your girlfriend, if she's itching, and she's itching because you literally getting on her goddamn nerves. Bro, you literally got her itching over there, bro. You getting on her nerves. So every time she gets into an emotional thing, she's going to have skin breakouts. That's her body just telling her is that. So again, you want me to solve the itch, solve the why. Watch her emotional whereabouts, watch the emotional intelligence between you guys, because you're literally getting on the nerves and making her break out. And if it ain't you, it's the job. All right, now don't come on here saying too much of your business. Now, y'all keep get your owner's manual. We talk offline. Don't come on here and say too much of your business. Cause I'm gonna see through your jive ass like glad. Okay, we don't play no games with this thing. I'm not over here trying to be no your third moon and your concoctus and your 6 forward figures and your man. Fuck that type of astrology. Don't nobody give a damn about that. It doesn't make no sense. Talk real to me. Let me know what nature, what mama really need for me to do what they saying. So therefore, you don't gotta say nothing but a little bit to me, and I'm gonna read your ass. Okay, but don't be scared of that, you guys. That's part of this. Remember, I told you guys we've been absorbing and reflecting certain behaviors. So yes, it gets a little offensive for somebody to get into you like that. I know it, because half of y'all older than me, old enough to be my parents. So I get it. But that's what's needed, because the pastor ain't doing that. Your doctor and whoever these people you paying to see about you ain't asking you the real shit. You think about your friends. Your friends is your friends. They going with you. Your family is your family. They going with you. Who going against you? Who really, really trying to say, God, you know what you did wrong? Because if your mama told you that, you wouldn't talk to your mama no more. If your daddy told you the truth, you're going to leave them alone. No, but you need to get the truth about you. You around here telling on everybody or blaming everybody, the white man, the white woman, the wife, the children, all did it to me. But what about you? You're the one common denominator in a lot of fucked up situations. So it might be your demonstrative, your demonstration, your reflection of the things that you've absorbed. And they ain't suitable for everything and everybody. So ain't nobody, stop focusing on external. Let's get the inner work done. And that's what we're doing here with the Honest Man. Said, well, that's how I want to be told. Yeah, that's it, right? Most of us appreciate it. Now, don't get it twisted. They appreciate it, but they're scared of it. But they appreciate it. How to solve the headaches. Okay, so headaches is going to be, again, I told you guys this before, right? But headaches and all that type of stuff. All right, let me show you guys something. Let me show you something, okay? But headaches and all of that, again, that's the cerebral spinal fluid, right? Anything in the head, headaches, migraines, even sometimes if you guys are dealing with sciatica. Sciatica can be spinal fluid built up, right? So even sciatica can be attached to the cerebral spinal fluid. Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, headaches, migraines, okay? It could be stagnation in the brain, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take into consideration all of the things you got going on and provide for you a real lifestyle prescription that's based on you, based on your birthday. Nothing else, nobody else. Look, the only people that got your birthday, look, there are 4.2 babies born every minute. Okay? 4.2 babies born every minute. So in that 1 minute, it can't be nobody but 4 motherfuckers like you. and this is even better than your modern medicine numbers, because I told you they failing you. Out of all them different people that you've seen get off metformin, get off the medications and stuff like that, that's a real small percentage to the people who took it and ain't coming out. You see, so you keep saying that, but this is better than that. So we don't want no generic stuff, man. We want something customized, personalized, and individualized to who we are. And there's no greater information on an individual's person than your birthday. Your hair sample is only going to hold 90 days worth of information. Your blood and some of these other fluids, they only hold up to a couple of days to maybe a few weeks of information. But your birthday, no matter how old you are, holds 90 years, 100 years, 7 hours, whatever you age you is, you can't get no better than the birthday. Even the blood will trick you, but the birthday cannot, because it's coming from nature. It's coming from when you came into the paradigm. Whatever that is, wherever that is, it don't matter. We'll be able to clock you and give you what you need. I've met 7 people that have the same birthday as me. Okay, but not the same minute. Loving the great. I didn't say nothing about the same birthday. I said 4.2 babies born every minute. Listen. So even though y'all got the same birthday, y'all are still not the same person. You don't require the same things. And that's why I don't like astrology of the day, because you're trying to group all the Geminis up together. But no, I'm a Gemini and I'm a life path 6. But we done had people come up here that are Geminis that are earth elements, that are Geminis that are fire elements. So then how can every Gemini be the same? You can't. There's so many different nuances that come into making you who you are, and those are the things that make you the difference. So yeah, same day, different people. Why? Because of what I just said. There's only 4.2 babies born in that minute. So that means that for you, loving the great, there's only 4 people identically like you on the planet. There's only 4 people that may be identically like, and I'm talking about just from a time and a day, but they still might be different for you. You see what I'm saying? Because of their environment. They may be going through different things that are going to create different inner things, that are going to create different external things. So you can still be different. Fungus on the armpit. Anytime that you got any kind of skin issues and you're dealing with any kind of funguses, first of all, Sharian, I already gonna tell you, Sharian, stop eating sweets. You eat too much sugar, too much carbohydrates, too much pasta, too much bread. You ain't gonna never get the fungus away. Okay? You feeding the fungus, and the fungus is everywhere trying to tell you something, okay? And then on top of that, you're talking about up under your armpit. So that means that we need to get some kind of skin detox, and we need to get some kind of detox internal. So if you want to start this, you can go to the website order the 20 detox, and let's just go ahead and get that little crap out of you. I don't even want to put nothing in you other than the detox to get that crap out of you. Then we can start with whatever else you got after that, okay? So if you're interested in getting that shit out, go get the lymphatic cleanse, because that's what you need. You need to clean up. You got fungus growing on you, Sharon. You got to clean up. If my number is 95, what does that mean? There's no such thing. That's what that means. What does a 3 mean? Okay, I just showed you guys a lot of those things. Okay, but a 3 simply means to me is a fire element. Okay, what a 3 simply means to me is a fire element. But for model number, they call the 3s the creative communicators. Okay, the 3s are the creative communicators. Okay, so these people need to find a way to communicate creatively. They can be writers, they can be social media people, they can be marketers, they can be branders, they can be typers, they can be somebody who's going to find a creative way to communicate in this particular, and that communication can mean anything. It could be sign language, any kind of communication, but from a creative, arts and craft, in music, all that type of stuff is forms of creative communication. So you'll see a lot of 3s that are very good musicians. You'll see a lot of 3s that are very good on social media. A lot of 3s that are very good at marketing, branding, helping people sell stuff, getting people out there, getting the word out. Great communicators, great social people, all that type of stuff right there. But what I'm saying is this is a fire element. So you got to watch out. These people need to watch out for self-control issues. Okay? These people need to watch out for self-control. If you are number 3 or 8, you need to watch out for self-control. Okay. Another thing that you need to watch out for is addictions. Okay. So self-control and addictions, you may think is the same thing, but they're not. You could be attached to certain things, and then here is self-control, just you just out here willy-nilly. So yes, these are your 2 main spiritual tendencies for a model number 3, aka life path number 3, the creative communicator. All right, DJ God, you got that? DJ God said, damn, I know that I ain't mean to hit you like that. But I'm just giving y'all a little soft blows though, really, man, because I'm about tired. I'm about to get up off of here. But I'm just really giving y'all soft blows. This is a system. All I'm trying to teach y'all, man. Y'all can go on my YouTube. Anything ever happened to me, go in these videos, learn this system, take this further. If my children don't do it, maybe your children will. But we here for everybody. It's for everybody. It's for everybody. Ain't no need in being selfish with this, man. You know, that's what I think, that's what messed us up anyway. That the sacredness of the information only for the 1%. And then world changes happen, wars and rumors of wars and all these things happen. And then that little 1% get knocked off, and then the sacredness goes. How to add the numbers to know your path number. Look, you guys, this is how you do it. 12, 1, 1950. Okay? 12, 1, 1950. 12 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 plus 5 plus 0 equals 12 plus 1 is 13 plus 1 is 14 plus 9 is 23 plus 5 is 28 plus 0 is 28. 28 broken down is 2 plus 8. That equals 10. Broken down, because we're trying to get to the 0 to the 9, right? Broken down, this equals 1 plus 0. That's going to be 1. So a person born on December the 1st, 1950 is a model number 1 or a life path number 1. Okay? That's how you break it down. That's how you break it down. But even if you get the life path number, look, you guys, the life path number, the cosmology, this is what all it's doing, okay? It's bringing in meaning, because you got to have meaning to life, and you got to have purpose. And it brings in identity. So when I'm showing DJ Gods, and I'm showing Sharian Taylor, and I'm showing Loving the Great, and I'm showing y'all along here a system, is the reason why I know how to push this shit out like that. You see what I'm saying? When it's a system, then it ain't about products. It's about the system. And I don't miss you trying to sell something. We actually able to heal you and able to change your direction. So the life path and the cosmology, the life path and the astrology do nothing more for me than bring meaning and identity, which is going to be a great thing for a person who's trying to heal themselves. To know that this can call you out and show you out and be able for you to understand that you're more connected than ever to nature and you belong to a way bigger thing than bill paying. You belong to a way bigger thing than your religious affiliation and association. You belong to a way bigger club than your church institution. You belong to a way bigger assembly of men than just your little college fraternity. You belong to something greater than just your little situation. And if we can show you how connected you are to something greater than me, then we're hoping that that meaning and purpose re-exuberate you, reignite you, so that we can get that joy, that bliss, that happy wholeness out of you that you so certainly deserve, man. So that's what that is, you guys. That's why we bring this into the table, because the person needs purpose, meaning, and identity, especially in the time of need. But all of us are in need, and we all need it. We all need it. We all need this, man. You guys keep tapping out, keep talking. We got about 30 minutes. Thank you for the teaching. Yes, Sahu. Yes. My life path number is 9. Okay. So we showed you guys what the 9 was. Okay, we showed you guys what the 9 was, but I'll put it back up here for a lot of you guys because I see y'all are new coming in. I don't want to stay on life paths all day though. So we'll do a few of you guys and then we'll go ahead and shut it on down for the day. Life path number 9. Okay, this is who you are. You can see it right there. Okay, you are the humanitarian. That's why you always trying to help folk. Okay, you are the humanitarian. Very good thing to be. But all I see is that you're the fire element. So for the humanitarian, okay, for the humanitarian, you got to watch out for the same thing, humanitarian. Self-control and addictions can get in the way of your humanitarian heart, mind, and soul. Okay? Okay? That's what you got to watch out for, number 9. Okay? Humanitarian, get into service. Whatever you do, get into some service. But watch your self-control and watch your attachment issues and your ability to be having addictions and stuff like that, right? Can be a little too obsessive. Thank you for that information. I just counted up. I'm a life path 8. Okay, so you just saw who you was right there, right? With the life path 8. With the 8s, you the 3 and the 8, right? Remember that 3 and the 8. That's the fire element. And then you got the 9. That's the fire. So same thing, 8. Self-control and addictions. Okay? Self-control and addictions. So the humanitarian is the life path 9. All right, you guys do your own research because y'all asking too much here, so y'all do your own thing. Okay? You see that? The life path 8, the powerhouse. Life path 8 is the powerhouse. The life path 7 is the mystic, the analyst. I don't give a damn about none of that. I do, but I don't. Okay? All I care about is them 4 elements. Okay? So the powerhouse, the life path 8, the powerhouse. You're dealing with the same thing, self-control and addictions. And there must be a reason y'all coming on here today. Because I think that's at the underbelly of what's going on in your life. Okay? These 2 things down at the below. The life path is what y'all asking me, but you see, it's this shit here. That's what's crippling you. I know it for a fact because there's been too many of y'all coming on. So I know that. All right? So then you got the 7. We just told you the 7 is the mystic, the analyst, okay? The one that's always going to be investigative, the one that's always going to be open-minded, okay, into new things, this, that, and the third. So the mystic is the number 7. All I give a damn about is what 7 is at. This is the water element. So that means that delusion, being delusional, loneliness, okay? And also guilt and unforgiveness, having problems forgiving people or having problems forgiving yourself can cripple you from this mystic, from this analyst type of person that you are. See, so but they got you stuck on here. So y'all go, he said live path. He said I'm a mystic. I should be in stuff like this. But what we talking about your what's gonna block this? Did he tell you that? Because y'all are paying for information that ain't gonna mean you no good. Y'all just want some love and some money. But here's the thing about it. If you're not healthy thinkers, if you're not healthy spiritually, how can you ever choose the right path to the right love and to the right money? Let somebody work on your mind, not in your pockets, and not on your heart first. Why would I want you to bypass my mind first to work on my pockets and my heart? It starts here with me. Can't tell me about no love for me, and you ain't found your own love. Come on now. Can't tell me about being rich, and I ain't never heard of you before, astrologer. I want to know if am I gonna be rich? Am I gonna win the lottery? He ain't even won the lottery. He can't even goddamn create a number for his ass to win the lottery. How the hell y'all stop? Come on, man. You taking rich advice from a broke motherfucker. You taking love advice from single folk. Yeah. Hey, again, like I told you, your doctors smoke more cigarettes and drink more. There's more alcoholism and doctorism than any other occupation on the planet. So, okay, all I'm saying is human valuability there must be highlighted because he can fuck up. Because he is fucking up. So you don't want that ability. If anybody gonna fuck up me, it's gonna be me, not no doctor. It's gonna be me, not no pastor. I ain't blaming nobody for this experience. This is all mine. But I'm going to take the personal responsibility to learn every aspect of this paradigm that I need so that I can cut my dependency ties because of my ignorance. I don't need no job. I just need a skill. I create my own economy. I don't need to buy no house. I just need for you to teach me how to build a house. And I got them do what it takes to build my. I don't need no goddamn land from you. Just show me what some shit that I can go live out of, and I'll cut the yard and I'll mow and cut down each tree. I'll make some acres. But I don't need you to do nothing for me but give me rightfully what's mine, and that's leaving me alone. And allowing me and nature to formulate our relationship without no mediating ass man. I need you in the middle of me and God. I need you in the middle of me and nature, man. Nature gonna tell me how to survive out here. You got me so lazy. We've been programmed. We so goddamn lazy out here that if it did go back, we'll all leave here in a heartbeat. You don't know what herbs to eat outside in your backyard. You don't know what grass to do. You're spraying weed eaters and killers. You can't. If these folks shut down the government for a grocery store for 2 weeks, 90% of you gonna leave here in that time. Because you just don't know what to eat. You don't know what to drink without them folks opening up them doors. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. But we're learning and we're changing. And we're understanding that your codependency creates the prison in which you call the matrix, in which you call hellish situations because of your ability to not open and evolve and push the envelope. We're creating systems while you sitting in the house trying to create a product. Trying to compete against millions of other impoverished people when that ain't what we need. We don't need another new thing. We need a new direction. I don't need another new driver. Oh, I'm tired. You drive. It's your turn. When we going to change directions instead of changing drivers? I'll be your teacher today. They're going to be one tomorrow. There'll be a doctor today. There'll be another tomorrow. She'll be your girl today. You have another tomorrow. He'll be your husband today. You have another man tomorrow. When you going, stop all of this so that we can start to learn that all it is that we don't know enough about ourselves. And it ain't nobody's fault. take control of this experience. And you can do that by way of the owner's manual. Right? And if you guys are interested in the owner's manual, please DM me and somebody will get you that information. Or you can go to the website, order it yourself. Okay? Order it yourself. It is an e-formatted manual only about you. You can't heal your daughter with your owner's manual. You can't heal your son with your owner's manual, but you can heal yourself. Okay? All right. So with that being said, man, we appreciate all of you guys, man. If you guys got any other questions, please let us know. Okay, please let us know. Right? Any other questions, please let us know. DM us, email us. We're here for anybody and for everybody. If you don't speak English, email me. We'll get you what you need. Okay, we're serving the world. Okay, now we can't give you the herbs because we don't ship worldwide. We ship only in the United States for herbs. But we can give you what you need and you can go get them from your local herbalist because now the power is yours. All right. I love you guys, man. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Until next time. Love HerbMan. Peace, peace, peace. Woo-say! Yes, sir. Peace, peace, peace. Everybody. They gone already. They gone.